So now, when this got announced on HBO Max, why would I be excited about something like this? The people in charge, the Neil Druckmanns of the world, have already proved they don't care about keeping true to the source material.
Well, I'm like everybody else here. I'm a fan of The Last of Us. I played the game. I love the game. I am one of you. So my job was to make sure with Neil that we were able to make a television show that is just as compelling and beautiful as the game. It's different because we don't do gameplay, we watch it on television, but I promise everyone here, everything that made you feel and love and cry, it's all here.
You actually got to direct one of the episodes?
Yes, I think that really speaks to the kind of collaboration and trust that exists between Naughty Dog and HBO. They invited me to direct one of the episodes.
They don't care. They'll bastardize anything and everything they can in the name of wokeness to push the message. And what do you know, one of the updates we get about this show before it premieres on HBO Max, and it certainly is confirmed. Now, this was out there, the casting was out there already, but this is the first time anybody had really seen it play out, so it's getting a lot of attention now. I want to go to this tweet from The Quartering.
Of course it's from The Quartering.
Meet Joel's daughter, reimagined. And this is Sarah. Sarah, who you get introduced to very early on in this game. One of the first things you play through in this game. Doesn't stick around long, and we'll get to that in a second. But this is her. This is Sarah. And this person is obviously a huge part of why Joel feels the way he feels about everything in this world. Well, as you can see, there's a little bit of a difference in the way that she was casted. They race swapped her. Oh, unsurprisingly, they're going to go ahead and they're going to race swap a character, but this time it's his daughter. They race swapped his daughter. And one of the craziest things to me is you can't tell me that they don't care about how someone looks, right? Because they're using the same shirt.
They don't care about how someone looks because they're using the same shirts. Excellent comparison to these two characters, mate. Voila. Like, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter if the characters were race swapped. It's all about the performance that these actors can do justice from their video game counterparts. Nobody except for you and The Quartering and maybe racists only seem to care that this character is being race swapped. How come you're not complaining about how they race swapped Joel or Tommy? Why aren't you complaining about that? Why are you complaining about this girl like she's going to add some political speech about a post-capitalist society like it's the new Saints Row game?
Oh, everything smells amazing, Kev.
You know what would make it smell even better?
Hey man, if you want a $300 waffle maker, you can buy it with the exposure the idols pay you in. Don't expect us to chip in.
I've told you before, the idols are trying to build a post-capitalist society where money is not a concept.
Yeah? Then why don't you go run off and join the commune?
I'm into showering. Are you gonna help me get the waffle maker or not?
So, why are you having this problem with this character again?
By identity politics.
Really? Identity politics, huh? Really? It's because she's black, isn't she? You are damn right! Really?
Like the same shirt that Sarah wears, that's what they're using. That's how much they care about how something looks, but they're not gonna go that way when you're talking about hair, when you're talking about hair color, when you're talking about skin color, all this stuff. Because they wanted to send a message, they wanted to set the narrative, they wanted to make sure that they diversified The Last of Us. Why would you even make a series about it? If you felt you had to fix something, if you felt that it wasn't progressive enough. It's just so fucking laughable. And this really sets the tone for what I and so many others expected The Last of Us to be.
20 minutes later.
And I even did have a comment. Myself and Jeremy from The Quarter, we now have a little bet going on, okay? I said, nice of them to race swap a character who gets killed immediately. And yes, in the game, if you've played, Sarah doesn't last very long. And ironically enough, in the game, she gets killed by a soldier following orders. Now, maybe they're gonna turn that into a cop for certain reasons in this show. Maybe that's the way they'll do it.
What the fuck?
Don't move.
My daughter's hurt. Her ankle.
Stop right there.
Okay. Easy now. We're not sick.
Maybe, could you imagine? Could you imagine a scenario in Hollywood where they didn't do that? Didn't try to take the biracial character and have them get killed by a cop now to set that tone in this series? But anyway, let's continue on.
Why would you insinuate that?
Nice of them to race swap a character who gets killed immediately. Cordoran brings up a great point. Wanna bet she doesn't. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that they would want to integrate Sarah more into the story now for certain reasons.
Maybe the showrunners wanted to give her much more to interact with and give her much more screen time and more character and context within her and Joel's relationship. Neil Druckmann even said that there's going to be even more story plot lines added into the show that didn't make it into the final game.
I could add, there's stuff that was written that we didn't get a chance to put in the game that is in the show. So you'll get to see like an enrichment of these characters in a way that it's interesting. We've now talked to people that have watched the entire season and went back and played the game, and they say the game is now richer having watched the show.
Nothing can actually be taken from the source material. These people will bastardize anything and everything they can for identity politics. And you knew from the beginning that's what this would be about, because Last of Us brand, Last of Us franchise has been destroyed by wokeness, by Neil Druckmann. They did it in Last of Us 2, and I don't think that as many people are going to fall for it this time for this series.
And would you look at that? It's doing very successful. I have no idea what to say about this guy, to be honest. Something about his takes is just very intriguing, in a ironic way. And overall, to say my thoughts about the HBO premiere of The Last of Us, I must say, it was very well done. What Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann and many other talented people that worked on this show was able to achieve here is nothing short of spectacular, for they have completely captured the feeling and tone of The Last of Us by a goldmine. The production design and practical effects looks amazing. The computer animation never took me out of the moments throughout the entire episode. The cinematography is very well shot and full of color and vibrance. The sound design especially is also very well done. The music is fantastic, and the absolute joy for them to bring back the original composer of The Last of Us, that is none other than Gustavo Santaolalla, is absolutely commendable. One of the reasons what made The Last of Us so special was the music. It showed through various of emotions and sounds and keys throughout the game that thankfully is shown in great lengths onto this episode. Kinda makes you think that they should have kept that original composer for that one TV show, if you know what I mean. The acting by everyone was fantastic. Pedro Pascal did an amazing job playing as Joel. Nico Parker as Sarah was great. Merle Dandridge reprised her role as Marlene, and she was also very great. Gabriel Luna finally has his time to shine after the mess that was Terminator Dark Fate debacle, and he as Tommy was awesome. And Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie was superb. She completely embodies Ellie in all aspects in her performance. But the biggest surprise to me was Anna Torv as Tess. The fact that I didn't recognize her when watching her previous performance, such as Mindhunter, is just insane. Her performance in this is second to none fantastic. This show has the markings to be amazing and also change the video game adaptation curse. I am very excited for the upcoming episodes of The Last of Us, and hopefully they'll keep that engine running at full throttle, for this is without a doubt a proper way to adapt a video game into television, and soon it will make a breakthrough that, wow, video game adaptations can work. Take some fucking notes, Halo. This is my earbuds, signing out. Peace!